Hi, and welcome to A Punk with Toys. My name is Lawrence, and today we're going to take a look at one of the newest Four Horsemen Mythic Legion figures that came out. And this is Zenithon. Now, I know what you're saying already. You're taking a look at this guy and you're going, hey, isn't it Stratos from the Masters of the Universe? Well, in some ways you are correct. So, the Four Horsemen, kind of give a little backstory from what I understand. Four Horsemen did some work with them, I think with the Master of the Universe Classics. They've done other designs and stuff. So a lot of the stuff, when you look at their figures, they look like He-Man, obviously Stratos, you've seen Skeletor, you've seen a bunch of different ones. Mossman, well, they do an homage to them because they designed so many of the figures. But I recently did a review asking if Mythic Legions are worth the price. So here we got Vetus. I actually remembered his name. Pretty impressed that I remember his name, to be honest. And a few people had mentioned, hey, you know what, I wish you would have, picked up a newer figure. They have better articulation. Maybe they look a little bit better. This guy was in one of the All-Star Waves. I believe this is also from the All-Star Waves. But the thing about it is, I didn't have too many complaints, if any complaints. A little bit less articulation than I thought, more like a Super 7 Ultimate. But when you actually look at the figure, let's scoot this back for 1 second. When you actually look at the figure and everything, the paint on it, how smooth the joints are, how everything pops out, and how he just does move and doesn't have the greatest articulation, I thought it was well worth the $50 cost, considering I went out and bought another one, a new one. So we're going to take a look and see how this wave compares. So looking at the figure, it looks really nice. You got second head sculpt. So you kind of see what the face is going to look like underneath the mask. Clearly, it's not exactly like Stratos, but the coloring, the way everything is, and we're going to kind of compare this, the colors and everything. And on the back here, you kind of have a cross-sell of the figures, and I'm not sure who, I'm assuming this is some sort of witch or whatever, but the thing I do like about these is that you can slide it open, just like some of the Master of the Universe, Master of the Universe Mattel Creation figures, like the Sunman that I have up there, different things like that, where it's actually going to slide out. So we don't have to worry about ruining it, because who wants to run a perfect package? We want to be able to take the figure out, pose them, and then put them back in there later on if we want. So anyway, let's not waste any more time. Let's take a look at this. No one wants to look at me. But before we do start, if you like the content, if you're enjoying what you see, take a second, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell notification, so you're notified every time I do drop a Mythic Legions video or any other video. And let's be honest, I go through waves where I get a whole bunch of stuff in and videos are being boomed out. And then you go through some ways where there's not much coming out. But hey, I always have some sort of interesting content, so let's just get into this. Alright, so here he is, Zenithon. Again, Mythic Legions. This is, I believe, the All-Star Waves. It just came out. It's 2023. So here we go. I didn't open them up, but again, the thing that I like about these is we're going to just flip this down right here. And then we can just pull the back right off. So there it is. You have this, lava flow, and you got some, there's a dragon there, there's a skull there. So this is made so we can just pop everything back in. This is how I have this one right here. Okay, this is my Vetus, and obviously Vetus is sitting right there. I like this. I like that Mattel Creations does it. Now, the one thing that I did find out, or at least it seemed like it with the other one, is the stuff tends to fall right out. So let's see if we can kind of course, nothing is falling out now. Let's pop out the head. I don't think they use any tape, which is good. I'm not a big fan of the tape. So you got a trident here. So this seems to be stored a little bit better than the other ones that I had seen. Or the other one that I have. Can't say that I've seen. And here it looks like this. I'm gonna pop this off. There's a little bit of tape up top here. And I do apologize, but again, when you're getting into a new line, I do kind of want to show everyone what they might be looking at. So here, I believe everything is going to come falling out if I just open this up. So I know this is absolutely riveting. So I'll ask once again, while you guys are waiting for me to open this up, take a second, hit that like button. It really does help the algorithm with YouTube. All right, so kind of learned my lesson last time. Look at that. Learn my lesson, dump everything into here. Try not to dump all your other action figures over. As we know, that type of stuff does happen. Or maybe it just happens to people that are doing reviews. So, right. So let's have this one come out. So these things are kind of stiff. Although I'm not sure exactly how I'm supposed to get this out without ruining it. There we go. Then we got two ties right here. And again, I apologize. I normally don't do this, but the other one came out so easily, I figured I'd do it again one more time. Don't think the next time I do a Mythic Legions, I will do the unpackaging this way. So we have that. Let's flip this down. And let's get rid of this packaging here, but I'll show you quickly. There's the figure on the side. It does give a little bio about him. I'm not going to get into that. I actually want to get on with this video. I really hate holding on to my figures for too long because I actually like opening my figures up, playing with them, and doing all the fun stuff I think people should be doing with their action figures. So, and here, these are kind of straps that will go around. Now, I thought this was to hold the swords in, but he really doesn't have any swords. So I'm not really sure what I'm going to use these for. But they're clearly made for something, right? All right. So first we're just going to stand our figure over here. And kind of sits this time next to Stratos, since he technically is a Stratos. All right. So first things first, we have this weird type of trident / scepter. I would assume that that one is supposed to go on this piece. Now, looking at this, they do some really nice detail throughout here. You can't really complain. There's no paint apps on it, but the detail is marvelous. It has a little bit of a flex to it, but it is really stiff. You're not going to have to worry about it falling over. And here, it's like he's got a tennis ball on it, or a tennis ball inside. Maybe get my dog to play with it. Now, these are actually kind of soft. They are pointy though, so but that went in nice and smoothly, much easier than his staff did. So we'll take a look at this trident here. So here's the handle of it, or the staff of it. It looks really nice. It's straight. Again, same as that one. It's stiff, but has a little bit of flex to it. And here's the trident. Nothing wrong with it. Doesn't need to be heated up, molded, nothing. I think it looks real nice, and it seems to pop into place nice and easy. And over here, we're going to have this, I'm assuming is, well, I don't know what that is. That's a piece for the back. Got the wings. Again, I'm learning with everyone else. And I do apologize if you guys are hanging with me wondering if this guy doesn't know anything. Well, you are correct in many, many, many ways. All right, so let's figure out the wings here. So the wings are going to spread out, and now we're going to have wings that might rival the size of the gargoyle wings. I'm going to say that should be the inside. But, so these are going to go on. All right, I figured it out. So, here's your shoulder pieces. It's gonna pop on here like this, right? Let's see the fit right. I wonder if I got it on right. Again, you guys are seeing what I'm seeing, and this is exactly what you'd be getting out of the box. So if you've never had a Mythic Legion, these are the types of things that we all have to work on, that we all have to learn. And then the back piece here, I'm going to assume it's going to go this way, so we can get those wings on them. And I gotta say, it's soft enough plastic that it's going to push in there fairly easy, but it's also gonna stay, so not too rough. So before we put the wings on them, let's quickly take a look at the figure, and we'll look at the back side of them. Again, only 2 colors on the paint app. So here's this skirt, got a nice belt that goes around it. Now, the other Mythic Legion that I have, no issues at all. Paint looks absolutely wonderful. I can't tell if these are a different color or if it's just the glare that makes it pop, but it looks really nice. Here you have this big sign, so clearly I would assume he's the good guy, as Vetus has the same one. So he's like a championship, you know, the championship belt. Maybe he's the Intercontinental Champion. He's the Heavyweight Champion. Hard to tell completely. So, we'll quickly look at the articulation. Now, you're going to get a pretty good T-pose. Doesn't seem to go up all the way. Now, these do have limited articulation. And I know that's something that I've complained about with other lines, like Super 7 Ultimates. So I do have to point that out here. But the paint apps, the way these ones look, they just are so much better than any Ultimate that I've ever had. So you're kind of going to get your, it's not so much a bicep swivel, but the elbow swivel. You got your shoulder swivel up here. Got your wrists. Now let's see. Hand popped out super easy, almost too easy. I did mention how smoothly these ones tend to come out. So he has an extra set of hands. So they transfer pretty nicely. Here's more of an open hand. I guess you're going to have him if he's flying. Let's move this down just a bit here. Hopefully we keep everything in. So here's your knee articulation. Get about 90 degrees. And you have your ankle rockers. Now they use a ball joint, but I'm able to get him in some pretty good position. So I'm assuming same here. Now I have not heated this figure up. I just picked him up. I actually picked him up at Sergeant Red's here in Michigan. So if you're ever in this area, it's a place you need to check out. So there you get his Jean-Claude Van Damme, and he gets a pretty good one here. He does shift up like this. He does have the knee bend there, and no drop down hip. So that's a really good Jean-Claude Van Damme, in my opinion, for something that goes out that far. And I'm okay with that, because I don't like the drop down hips too much. I think it really loosens the legs, and you're always going to be worried that they're going to end up breaking. All right, so let's take a look at this. And let's see. So I would assume that this is supposed to be the back of it. Sometimes, you know, so this is unfortunately some of the issues that you have when you're doing something firsthand throughout everything. You kind of got to wonder, hey, do people want to sit through this and watch it? Well, it's what we're doing now, isn't it? So I am having an issue here getting that wing in. And I'm thinking I'm going to have to heat these up, which isn't a big deal. But so far, it's the first thing that I'm noticing that is tight. So what I'm going to go do is I'm going to pause this. I'm going to go heat it up and get this moving so we can get these wings on the figure the way they're supposed to go. Alright guys, we are back. And I had to hit him with, I used the blow dryer just to loosen it up here, because the issue is, once you plug this in here, I wasn't able to get the wings to bend the way that I wanted to. It felt like they were going to break. It is pretty tough to get them into this piece here, but I'm perfectly fine with it, as long as everyone understands, hey, at times you have to heat stuff up. So as you can see here, I kind of just move the wings back and forth. They're going to extend. So this guy becomes a very, very big boy. And I think this is something that I truly do believe that maybe, when you look at that, something that gargoyles could learn from, or NECA could learn from with their gargoyles line. So there he is. I mean, he's just very large, man. Very large. We're gonna put the wings down, but as you can see, like, look, I have him completely extended, and he is standing perfectly fine. All right, now I didn't try and get him any poses, but they have a very large footprint. So let's bring these down here and finish looking at the articulation on this. It actually looks like the wing is kind of pushing out. So here we get to like his shin pads. They're all one color, but again, they look extremely nice. Oh, I take that back. Okay, so there's a second color behind it. And again, these are all colors that fit with Stratos. So if you want to use these for your Masters of the Universe, they're going to fit in pretty well. Again, there, that thing kind of just came out. So hopefully moving it around enough will take care of the stiffness in it. So they do have a peg on the bottom. The feet are nice and, defined. I mean, everything is sculpted through this, and everything is a really smooth, fit. Everything moves nice and smoothly. I don't have any issues. Nothing's jerky. So quickly, we'll take a look here, and the wings look absolutely amazing. From this angle here, from this shot, the texture of them, it looks like they're real wings, real feathers, all throughout here. Now, again, here is the peg that's going to hold it on. And it looks like there's black mixed in, so the paint looks absolutely awesome. Now, on the back here, unfortunately, you are going to have the small issue here with a peg, but again, you can only do so much. I don't know if there's any type of pinless technology for something like this, but it's really not going to bother me all that much. It may bother someone else. So looking at that, again, the feathers look textured. Everything looks really, really nice. So I'm going to move this around here. Let's pop his head off. So looking at this head, this is where it looks like Stratos, but obviously veers away from being Stratos. So you're going to have the, bring Stratos up here. You got the red helmet that goes across just like Stratos, and then you have the goggles or the eyes that are blue, and then you have black on the inside. Now clearly this is some sort of helmet that he's wearing that's to protect his head. And I like this because rather than how you see the mouth here, they made it just a different color with the armor that's on it. And then when you look at this, you can see there's nice texture on it. Everything looks so nice. I mean, even from the fact that how the helmet is kind of raised up down the middle with the mohawk, you got the exact same thing with Stratos. So I gotta say, really impressed with that. Now this is kind of weird, how the helmet kind of sticks in there. Now you wonder if that's exactly how this would fit. It looks like the ears would really pop out, but so now let's look at the unmasked. Now, is this what Stratos looks like? Probably not, but this is where they give you a different version. Now, I'm not a big fan of this head, to be honest. Now, it looks awesome. I just don't like it. I just don't want him with it on. There's Roman back there, if you heard. So, the teeth look absolutely awesome. Nice paint. No issues there whatsoever, right? The color looks nice. The eyes are just black. if you can see it. Of course, I hate when I start having issues with my light. Let me bring this light over here. Hope I don't cause any other problems. You can see the eyes. They look super nice. The ears are molded. So everything looks so good. That beard looks awesome. So let's just pop this on him. See how it works. Now, Mythic Legions are meant so they're supposed to be interchangeable. They have different head sculpts that you can buy head packs. So there you have that. I think that looks extremely nice. Nothing bad at all about that. So finishing up the figure here, when you look at his chest and his body and everything, he just has perfect texture. The paint looks, honestly, the paint looks immaculate. As a matter of fact, 1 second here. All right, so I turned into 4K. I probably shouldn't have done this in the first place. 4K just eats up so much space. But now that we're looking at the head, I mean, look at that sculpt. The body, it's hard to tell whether or not there's shaded paint in here or if it's just how nice and sharp the muscles look that you get shadows on it. And I gotta say this, like looking at the chest here and a guy that's spent many, many years in the gym, the way this is not the exact same on both sides really says they have an amazing sculptor. Because my chest does something very similar, how right up here is kind of like cut out. But you got the striations on his arms. You know, he's got these gauntlets on the side. They look really nice. Now, these gauntlets I do not believe come off. So, yeah, that's all like one piece. If I want to understand, everything's supposed to be very modular with these figures. Now, there's a few things I guess we have to quickly take a look at. But we're going to pop this wing back on here. And let's compare him to our Stratos. So, obviously he has the gray body. I think it looks really nice. Obviously it's a darker gray, but that's okay. Now the wings here on Stratos are more on his arms. He kind of uses jetpacks to fly around. Matter of fact, we should probably change out the head now, shouldn't we? Stratos, stay. Stay, Stratos, stay. And the head pops off really nice and easy. Alright, so looking at these two, you can clearly see. Now with the wings on here, as you can see, it kind of falls back, especially if I'm nudging him. This is a long video, that is for sure. So, you basically have the red belt. They follow this here. Here he has the skirt that's in the blue where he just has his I don't know, his furry panties that he's wearing. No hair on the chest like Stratos. This is a manly man. They give him some some shin guards, which obviously Stratos doesn't have. And on the back, they did the wings red, where his jetpack is red. But all in all, a great homage to our Stratos from Masters of the Universe. So let's push him back. Now, these wings are heavy, so it is going to be kind of a chore to pose him. There's no doubt about that. But I don't think it's going to be too bad. Now here, these are for the swords. So these wrap around the chest here. I'll show you here on Vetus. So they wrap around the chest here, and then you would take a sword and you slide it through the little hole right there. Now, they give you two of these. I'm not exactly sure why. The pegs here, I'm assuming this is to cover up the holes on the back if you want to take the wings off. But even so, no, those don't fit. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure. Now, it looks like you can put the wings directly coming out of his shoulders too, if you want to. So if you want him to come directly out and make it look like he's Hawkman or whoever, you can have him come directly out of his, which I think looks pretty nice, but then you're going to lose the shoulder guards, which then you go, I kind of missed those. So really neat design. Again, I'm not sure what those are for. I think when I stop this, before I get done, I'll take a look at everything and see if I missed something, because again, a new line, I only have one figure, and that's exactly why I'm spending the time letting you know if this is really worth the money. And I can't spend your money. I can tell you what I feel isn't worth money or is worth money. So we have the two different tridents. Now this one here might be a little bit harder to... Oh no, that one went in pretty nicely. Alright. And then if we want to take this trident here, just going to slide that in. Nice and easy. So, look at that. That is a nice looking figure. And he is cheaper than an Ultimate figure. So, when I do talk about the money, he is $5 cheaper. These run $50 for an Ultimate, runs $55. They're shorter, but I think that there's no comparison comparing an Ultimate to this figure, or even this older figure right here. And here you can kind of see them together. I'm going to put them back to back. So give me 1 second. I'm going to stop the camera again. I'm actually going to run downstairs and grab a gargoyle. All right, so quickly, I want to show you the different sizes here. So this is a Mythic Legions, and here's a Stratos. And you can clearly see there is a huge difference here. Now taking this guy, I'm going to kind of extend these wings here. And here is Thalog, who is just Goliath. And the only reason I didn't grab Goliath is because he has the draped wings on him right now. So these wings here are a good 2 inches shorter on each side, I would say. So again, close to 4 inches smaller, but this guy still takes up a lot of room if you have the wings open. But you can bring these wings down, you can take the wings off, and there you have it. He looks really nice like that. Let's bring on the newer line that I think that you might be able to. Let's just knock everything over instead. How about that? How about we just knock everything over? Just knock everything over. Let's get these things off, because they're very large, obviously. They're going to take up a lot of space. So, Animal Warriors of the Kingdom, the Sparrow toys. Let's put these two together. Again, I think these complement each other really well. A little bit taller, not that bad, but again, both in some sort of mythical creatures. We'll bring Storm Shadow over, who is a little bit smaller in scale, but again, if you want to work him in mythical creatures, you can easily do it. So there you go. That's pretty much it. Again, he does come with the two different hands, two open hands. So if you want to make him flying, or, you know, whatever there is, it's hard to say exactly what you want to do. All right. Let's wrap this up and get on with our day, because I've gone longer than I had anticipated. All right, so there you have it. This is the... Man, I forgot his name already. What's your name, buddy? It is Zenithon. Kind of like the Zenith TV. It was like the last American-made... I hate that term, American-made. You know, America's a continent, right? It's not a country. It's a continent. We're the United States of America. Anyway, why am I telling you this? Why? No one cares. Came here to list toys, not me give a geography speech. So anyway, this guy is absolutely awesome. I'm not going to say I've caught the Mythic Legions bug, but I will say this, I definitely will be picking them up. I've been going through some ideas, whether or not I want to maybe start selling off and getting out of certain collections that I've been in. I love the way the wings move. So here's the wings, pretty much in the down position. And then you can just extend them. And they're going to go out nice and far. So when they're in, not going to be too bad. Again, another Master of the Universe figure. It's got a nice size feet, so you can be able to get them in pretty much any pose you want. Now, this guy can also be, obviously, I do believe, used as an army builder. So you can take all this stuff off. Now, if you notice, I got the bands on here. I looked it up, figured out how they're supposed to go on. So I'm sure that there's someone in the comments that's already made a comment telling me that I did it wrong, that I didn't do it because I didn't watch the whole video. But again, I'm trying to give you, when you open this up, what you're going to see. There's no instructions. At least I don't think there are. Maybe there were. What is this right here? This came through, but I think this was just, again, riveting video right now. What is this? Joins of Mythic Legion figures can become tighter. Okay, I don't care. That's just telling you to heat it if you need to. So all the people that jumped on Valaverse about how they had to heat them up, guess what? A lot of figures need to be heated. It's nothing new. There you go. I like this figure. And if you like Stratos, if Stratos is one of your favorite figures, I think this is a guy that you need in your collection. Again, $50. It is a steep price to pay, but again, you're gonna find out action figures. It's an expensive hobby to be involved in, no doubt about it. But it's fun. It's a great community when you meet the right people. Now, they gave me two of these things. It looks like a Lego piece. I have no idea what it is. And it's not even in any of the production shots. I don't know. If you do know, tell me in the comments below, and I'll be happy to figure it out and go, okay, that kind of makes sense. So anyway, I'm going to get out of here. I've rambled on for a long time, and this is going to be one of my longer review videos. But again, I don't know much about Mythic Legions. This is only my second figure. This is one of the newer figures. Now, someone did make a comment, on the Vetus, that they really wish I would have started with one of the newer figures. I didn't notice any difference in the articulation. It didn't seem to be any more articulation than before. I didn't notice a difference really in the paint because I thought the other one was really well. It was done really good. No issues at all. So, are they perfect figures? No, because I don't believe there is a perfect figure. But are these worth it? Well, if you like mythical creatures, if you don't think $50 is too much to spend on an action figure, then I think that these are worth it for you. But I can't spend your money. I can't say what you think is worth it or isn't worth it. But I've gone on long enough. So before I leave, hey, the social medias, please take a second, go to Instagram, follow me on Instagram. I'm over 600 followers, I do believe now, coming close to 1,000. It sounds kind of crazy, but it goes in leaps and bounds. So a Punk with Toys on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. Gotta start doing some more TikTok stuff and doing some more reels. And again, last but not least, take a second, hit that like button. Always hit the like button for any of the content creators that you enjoy, because it tells YouTube people are enjoying this. We need to push this out. Hit that bell notification and hit the subscribe button. Again, I went completely out of order because I've rambled on too long. So I'm going to get out of here. But don't go anywhere. Take a second. Up here, I'm going to leave the playlist for Animals of the Warrior Kingdom. Right here is my Vetus video. Take a look. Don't leave YouTube.